Australia is in the grip of an illegal tobacco crisis. The problem of illicit tobacco has moved well beyond a revenue loss issue and is now being described by Commonwealth agencies as a public health, community safety and organised crime problem. It is putting the lives of everyday Australians at risk who go about their work, business and family lives. The Illicit Tobacco and E-Cigarette Commissioner says illicit tobacco and vapes are a serious and growing threat to public health, community safety and the economy, while the Australian Criminal Intelligence Commission and the Australian Institute of Criminology have reported that illicit tobacco alone is costing Australia $4 billion, has cost Australia $4 billion in the 2023 to 24 period, a fourfold increase over 3 years. Since 2023, there have been over 200 fire bombings, particularly in my home state of Victoria, and there is a clear link between the illicit trade and organised crime and, in some instances, even terrorist activities. At the same time, enforcement activity has reached record levels without yet reversing the trend. The Australian Border Force reported 23,097 illicit tobacco detections in the 2024-25 period, seizing nearly 2.5 billion cigarette sticks and over 435,000 tonnes of loose-leaf tobacco, but also stated plainly that it can't seize this problem away and that border enforcement must be complemented by education, health and domestic enforcement and compliance. The policy debate in Australia has shifted from whether illicit tobacco is a problem to what combination of excise, retail regulation, intelligence, law enforcement and public health measures can realistically shrink this illicit market. So my question to the Minister is why, when the government claims to be investing record amounts into investigation and enforcement activities through this portfolio, is the tobacco black market continuing to grow out of control, putting the lives of Australians at risk every day? The second issue, Madam Deputy Speaker, I wish to raise goes to the issue of connected vehicles coming into Australia. All of these relate to electric vehicles and many new combustion engine cars have the same capabilities. There is a custom-made ship that's just brought thousands of BYD cars to Australia with communication systems manufactured by Huawei. The Privacy Commissioner gave a clear and public warning over a year ago now that Australia's privacy protections for consumers in the area of connected cars were simply not up to scratch. The government is years behind other countries, particularly our security partners, in stepping up to protect consumer privacy, especially where its misuse across biometric information like voice recognition, health data and domestic violence offending are known risks of misuse. I note the US Trade Commission has already announced action against the selling of data, including geolocation information, without the knowledge or consent of consumers to third parties. The fact that the former US Biden administration is still years ahead of where the Albanese government is on recognising the risks and setting an appropriate regulatory regime is a matter of concern. The Australian Signals Directorate has an advice book urging consumers to note the risks of information collected via text messages and the like in connected vehicles. I think it would be prudent for politicians to take that advice. Smart vehicles are equipped with hundreds or even thousands of sensors that collect real-time information on vehicle status, road conditions, passenger behaviours, geolocation, voice recording and facial imprints. I note that as of 2024, in a Senate Estimates Department hearing, department officials confirmed they were still working on connected vehicle privacy settings. And I'd also reiterate the Australian Privacy Commissioner's warnings in this regard. I have serious concerns about the misuse of connected vehicles across domestic violence perpetration, consumer data and privacy. So my question to the Minister goes to why, after years of public warnings ranging from national security advisers to concerns around privacy and consumer data, does the Australian government not have a fit-for-purpose regulatory framework to protect Australia and Australians against these known threats?